Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I'm Bobby G from CGN. It's my great honor to welcome Vivian Lu from New Zealand, and who plays at the University of Washington, and she's currently a sophomore. Vivian, welcome, and thank you so much. Yes.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Glad you could take the time out, and thank you to your team and working with our team and coordinating this. I know it's a very busy time of year. I know you had a great tournament last week, but before we talk about college, if it's okay with you, can we go back to your outstanding junior career? Great. So could you just tell us a little bit how you got started, and at a very young age, at the tender age of 14, you won the New Zealand Women's Amateur. So maybe we could start a little bit before that and how that led up to winning that prestigious tournament.
I started golf when I was 9 years old. My dad put me into golf. So when I first started, I wasn't really interested. I was like, oh, well, it's not really a cool thing to be doing, especially when you're 9. So my dad bribed me. He said if I didn't practice a bucket of balls each day, I wouldn't get to use my iPad. So I would go and practice my bucket of balls, and then I'd go home and play on my iPad. And then I played in my first tournament, and then that's when I started to really like playing golf.
All between bribing you with iPad or ice cream, I guess, you prefer the technology.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think every 9-year-old now has to have an iPad. If they don't, we don't know how to survive. But then I just kept playing. Played in my first tournament. I didn't do good at all. I came second to last. I thought I was doing great. Obviously I wasn't, and I played with the girl who was winning, and then I was like, wow, I want to be like that. So I just kept practicing, and then the bribe stopped because I liked it, and then I just kept going and played for my region, and then I won a few tournaments, and then I started playing for New Zealand.
So who was your primary coach and teacher at that young age where you really learned your swing is beautiful. I was watching it earlier, and it's so technically perfect. Not that I'm professional, but I a lot of great golfers, and I know everyone has a unique swing, but yours is on plane. It's the tempo, everything is great. So who is primarily responsible for helping you learn all those great, fundamental lessons that you've carried with you?
Well, in the beginning it was my dad, because my dad is a golf coach. So my dad knows what he's talking about. So, but even though I know what my dad is saying is right, he's my dad, so I didn't really listen to what he was saying. So growing up, I had 2 coaches in New Zealand, James Cooper and Chutaro. They kind of worked on 2 different things. With Chutaro, at first I was working on long game, and then with James I was do course management and shot shapes and irons and wedges. So that's how I had those coaches. And then right now my coach is Peter Murphy. He works with our school, and he's a great guy, and I've been working on my swing with him and made a few changes.
Great. Awesome. So tell us how you got into the New Zealand Women's Amateur, and then how that experience was. That was a major win. I know you had some other wins before that, but can you tell us a little bit about the New Zealand Women's Am at the ripe old age of 14?
That was a really special tournament for me, because I honestly wasn't expecting too much, because I was little, and it was a really strong field, some players, some big names from Korea. So I honestly wasn't expecting too much. So for the New Zealand Am, you play 2 rounds of stroke play to qualify, and then you go match play until you make it to the finals, and you play 36 holes. And so we played the whole 36 holes in the finals against a girl named KK Park. And we went down the last hole. I was 1 up going down the last, and then I bogeyed and she parred. So we were all square after 36 holes. And then we had to go down the first hole again to go play extra holes. And we both made it onto the green on a par 5 and 3. And then I putted first. So I was further away. It was a 15-foot downhill putt. And my dad was on the bag, which was super cool, because my dad doesn't usually caddy me. So I was like, Dad, what do you think? Right to left or left to right? And he was like, I don't know. I think it's right to left, but if you think it's left to right, you should take that line. And I did, and I hold it, and she missed her putt. And then it was really special, and my mom was there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just back me up a little bit, and everyone watching this, that is really, really cool, because this is a really important part of the game. You obviously made bogey, and now you're all square. What was going on in your head and how did you put the bogey behind you and step up to the tee on the first playoff hole?
I was honestly like so nervous. Like I've never been in that type of pressure. So my dad was like, "It's okay. Like just make your par. Like just just put it on the fairway and you'll be good and just keep calm." And so I just tried to try my best to do that. But like inside, I was so nervous. I was like almost shaking. But yeah, I just try to stay calm and just try to stick to what I knew.
Well, obviously at your level, your college ranking with scoreboard ranking 38, which is unbelievable. Your WAGR, which is at 74. Obviously, you are a very accomplished player to achieve those unbelievable rankings. How do you generally go about? You've talked a little bit about your teaching, but what's been your focus, or who have you relied on in terms of your mental game and your focus and your ability to stay really calm, especially as in the situation you just told us about in that playoff hole?
I think growing up with like the New Zealand program, we've seen a lot of like mental coaches. So like I've used quite a few like breathing techniques and just like being like having all this experience, like I've learned how to keep myself calm. Like the more you play, the more experience you get, so you know how to like manage your own emotions. And like I've become very aware of my own emotions, especially on the golf course. So afterwards, I can like go back and reflect and see like if I like could have changed that or done something better. And then at UW, we also have our own mental coach. So we can see him like on our own, or we have like team sessions sometimes, and like that's really good to help as well.
So other than breathing techniques, what else, if you don't mind sharing, do you work on as part of your mental focus and your mental game?
I think talking to my mental coach just about like how I feel, and then we just like talk about the emotions that I felt. I usually on the golf course I just try to breathe and just not try to overthink anything. I would say I'm a pretty like calm player, so I just like to keep a level head. Even if I like make bogey, I'm usually can pretty quickly bounce back.
You mentioned a little bit on the emotion side. So speaking of emotions, what's your favorite karaoke song?
My favorite karaoke song, maybe "The Climb" by Miley Cyrus. I think everyone knows that one.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone will be
Mhm.
sure to tune that in. What let's just shift now a little bit to the college. So Macleans College, that's on a beach, right? Every class is outside.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So what a beautiful way to go to school. And then, but obviously, what did you study there? Because I'm kind of curious as to I know your desire to be a professional, but I was interested in what you studied at a young age and how, if any, that helped your golf.
So I went to Macleans College. It's like a public school, right on the beach, as you said. And I think the New Zealand school system is a lot different to the US. So I kind of just took the classes that I was told to take, just like, English, like social studies, math, like just it was pretty normal, like nothing really stood out, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So then how did you figure out and how did you decide to go to UW? If you could tell us about that process.
Um, yes. So there have been a lot of girls from New Zealand who have come to UW.
Oh,
Two girls who were actually on the national championship winning team when they won it in 2016. They were from New Zealand. They came here, and then there's one of my best friends called Carmen. She's on the team. She's 1 year older than me, and we grew up playing golf together. Like we traveled everywhere together. We've been friends for like 11, 12 years now. So she came here, and then it kind of made sense for me to come here because like knowing someone was really important to me because moving to a whole new country, like not knowing anything is quite a daunting thing. So having her around really did help me like settle in and like just feel more at home.
so she's your soul sister, basically.
Yeah, I would say so.
And is it so? Obviously, that's also a huge comfort to you as you travel and you play in tournaments. And you guys are, I think, your scoring average are two best scoring averages on the team. And
Yeah.
then you have
Mhm.
some. So tell us a little bit about the team environment and what you guys like to do, both off the course as well as practice drills and some other really fun things that you get to do to get better, but also take a little bit of the grind out of it.
Mhm. The team this year is definitely a lot more different than it was last year. We have 3 new freshmen, so that's all pretty cool getting to know them. One of our favorite things to do when we go on the road is to get sweet treats together on the road. I'll always be like, "Hey, coach, can we go get ice cream or something?" And usually she'll say yes. So we all get to go do that together, which I love to do. And then as a team, when we practice, we do a lot of short game drills. Um, there's one called Chip or Die, which I love playing because it's like a team competition that everyone has to play their part in. So I love playing that one.
Yeah, that's the greatest thing personally that I really love watching college golf is that, you never know. You're playing five, but the top four score, you never know where that best score is going to come from. And even though someone might be ranked five, they might really play an instrumental role in winning for the
Yeah.
team, depending on how they play that week, which is really, really, I think, what brings the team element really together. It's not just a bunch of, individuals playing, line by line. What if you, in terms of your playing right now, do you mind telling us a little bit about what's in your bag and what you're playing with?
Oh, yes. Right now I'm playing the Callaways. I've been loving the Callaways, the Paradigms. And then I recently got the new Callaway Star Irons. I love them. So good. Just yeah, very similar to what I had in my bag before. It's like a more of a Japanese setup. I have because I grew up playing with Honma clubs,
Hmm.
so it was a very similar type of club. So I really like them.
And what are you putting with?
I'm putting with the new Jailbird. It's kind of like a round head like this, and it has like stripes in it.
Okay. Well, since you're using hand movements now, that's a perfect segue into I cannot figure out how you make the W with three
Oh, the
fingers.
W.
Yes.
You just yeah, you just tuck one behind and you just
Okay. Yours, I definitely have some work to do. I was struggling at is how you do it. But you've got a leg up on me. So two of my favorite people from New Zealand are Keith Urban, whom I've had the opportunity to meet. It's a story for another day. And
Mhm.
Russell Crowe. Who would you put up there? Your favorite New Zealanders?
My favorite New Zealanders. I would say my favorite New Zealand is Lydia Ko. She's like obviously such a great player. And then over winter break in December last year, I got to go practice with her and spend a few days, which was like the coolest experience I've ever had. Spending time with someone who's in the Hall of Fame and someone of her caliber was really eye-opening for me.
Mhm. And so you obviously have aspirations to play professional golf. And
Yes.
so has she been a really good, obviously a role model, but has she helped you out in terms of your progression? And are you going to finish college? You think you might leave early? Have you given that any thought yet?
Yeah, I have given some thought, but I think I'm gonna try finish college. I mean, it's always good having a degree with you, like because you never know what's gonna happen in the future, so having something to rely on. But Lydia's just been a really good mentor. Like whatever questions I have, she'll answer it like truthfully and she'll give it to me straight. So yeah, she's really cool.
Do you anticipate maybe this summer you might be able to qualify in or get an exemption to a professional tournament, to a women's professional tournament?
I will try to do that, maybe play in some Monday qualifiers or try play a mini tour event just to get some experience. Yeah.
The last tournament that you played in, your rounds one and two. That was just last week. Were unbelievable, and then round three, your back nine. The difference between round two and it was like differential of like 6 shots. So,
Yeah.
what was going wrong, or what just happened? If you don't mind trying to, I don't want to open up a wound, but can you just be really interesting to find out like it's a difficult sport. It's someone
Yeah.
that strives for perfection. It's the wrong game, as we all know. But what was going on there on that back nine?
I think it was just one of those days, like nothing was really going my way and made a few dumb mistakes that I shouldn't have, which caused, some bad numbers on my scorecard. But yeah, I was just really trying to push through it, just trying to like stay calm and stay like focused. But yeah, it was just one of those rounds where nothing was really going my way. So
Like,
yeah,
so what do you
it
do?
is what it is.
Right. So besides ice cream, what else do you do afterwards to put that behind you and focus on the next tournament and the next practice? And or does it stay with you? I'm curious as to how you react to those bad days.
I honestly get over bad rounds pretty quickly. It's like playing a bad round is very like motivating for me. Like, it gives me more motivation to want to go out and practice and like see what I did wrong and just take notes on what I did and everything that happened, and so I can try prevent that in the future. So it's very motivating for me to want to get better.
Mhm. Congratulations on being named to the Annika watch list.
Thank you.
And that's a tremendous honor. Shows that you've really achieved some greatness. Yeah. Have you ever met Annika yet?
I have. I played in a tournament a few years ago when I was younger in New Zealand, and she came out, and it was like an Annika tournament, and she came out and uh, gave us a clinic, and that was really cool.
Great. So what are you doing insofar as physical training? We talked about mental, we talked about your practicing. And what are you doing physical training wise during the season and then off the season?
For us at UW, we work out twice a week during season and 3 times a week in off season. Lots of uh, golf specific stuff and just recovery and like making sure that like the big muscles are all strong enough to prevent injuries. And then in the off season, I like to work on my swing speed. So I do the stack system. I found that to be really helpful, and I have gained a few miles on my swing with that.
Wow. And in terms of the rest of the season, where do you guys, where's the team you think headed the balance of the season? Because I know you guys have great potential. I know you have a younger team now, but you also have some experienced, even though senior and sophomore and junior, you have some great leaders on the team as well. Where do you guys think you might be headed the balance of the season?
So far, we've had a very up and down season, so we're hoping for a few good tournaments leading up to regionals and hoping that we can make it to nationals. Last year we came just short, so hopefully this year we will make it to nationals.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a little chip on your shoulder for this year, having just missed last year. I know that had to be tough because you played for that. So, well, I'm sure you guys will make it. I have all the confidence in the world in you. And thank you again for sharing some of your thoughts with us. We really appreciate it. And I'm hoping that you finish the year and the team finishes great. We really appreciate your time today. One last question, dog or cats?
I do like cats more.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
It was so much fun, Vivian. Nice to have met you. Thank you again for your time and best of luck.
Thank you so much.